Good morning from the allotment. It's Sunday morning, about 8:15. It's quite bright. Birds are singing nicely. What I thought I'd do today is give you an end of March tour of the plot, show you how we're going on in the greenhouse, or both the greenhouses, and just a general update. So starting off with at the bottom of the plot with my onion, carrots. As you can see, the first row have started to germinate nicely now. I expect the second row to follow on in a couple of weeks' time, and at that point I'll put a third row in there. They're just some covers that I put over just to try and warm the soil a little bit. So hopefully that's done the trick. The onions have really started to motor on now. They're starting to shoot through as the soil starts to warm up. So they're looking really good. They're all white, and then these ones here, I think I've got 4 rows of red onions amongst this, and the rest are white. So yeah, I'm really pleased with those. They're starting to really motor. I've been keeping an eye on the peas that I sowed directly into the soil. I've had to nip in and just push 1 or 2 of them back down. They had like a slight stem on them, so I don't know whether they've pushed themselves up out of the ground or it's the dreaded mice. But I'll have to keep an eye on that. But there's not much germination gone on there. I think again the soil's only really starting to warm up now, so hopefully in the next week or so we should see something. Managed to get another shrub. As I mentioned to you before, I want to clothe all my fences with shrubs and plants, so I've managed to get another one which I've put there next to the Globosa there, and the Euonymus up there. So hopefully by the end of this season we should start to see this fence look a little bit greener. So here we are in greenhouse number 1. Fleece up on a night time because the temperature does drop, so it just keeps them all nice and cosy. I'll get them untucked and take you around and show you where we are. So here we go. There is my first lot of leeks. Autumn Giant, doing nicely in there in a nice deep pot, so I can leave him in there for a while before actually finding the place outside. Potted on some kohlrabi there. Never really tasted kohlrabi, so if anybody's got any sort of just information on kohlrabi, what it tastes like, I'm just growing it really just as a trial, just to see what it's like. But if you like it, let me know in the comments below. If you don't, I suppose let me know that too. Give me fair warning. I've got some cucumber there, Carmen. They've been potted on and they're doing quite well. Kerry's pink potatoes are chitting nicely in there. These are really needing to go out. I'm looking to put my potatoes out next weekend, so that's what I'm going to be doing. So they'll be out there. As I say, they're looking desperate. Some more kohlrabi there. Probably giving a lot of that away, but these are some fennel that I've got to pot on. There's a couple more giant sunflowers in there. We have a little competition between the grandkids, so I need a couple more to come on. I've got some lettuce to pot on, and there's my sprouts just at the back. I've left those in here just to put on a little bit more size before they go out into the cold frame. The rainbow chard's looking really nice and healthy, and I've got quite a few seedlings still there which I'm going to pass on and give away. My cosmos is looking really nice and healthy. I'm pleased with that. Now we move on to the tomatoes. As I say, I did count them up. I think I told you I had around 60 odd. I think I counted them up. I've got about 84 tomato plants. So we've got Tumbling Tom varieties here. All them there are Tumbling Toms. We've got Sun Gold. We've got some Moneymaker there. We've got some Golden Sunrise here. And then over here we have got some Mascotta, and they're the tumbling variety, but quite a big tomato, not like a normal cherry tomato you'd get on tumbling varieties. So they're really good. So these will be all scattered around the plot and around the garden. There's the grandkids sunflowers. I think I've got about 8 there. I've got 9 grandchildren. Have I got 9 grandchildren at the moment, with 1 on the way. So that'll be 10, double figures. We just need 1 more to make a football team. We don't need substitutes, I've told them. Right, so yeah, now we're moving on to my sweet corn, which I don't think I've put any film coverage on me sowing these or putting them on. I've got quite a lot here, but what I do is I use a lot of them in my flower beds. When I put my dahlias and things out, they go in amongst that. At the back there we've got some Gadisha and some Lavateria there, some lovely lupins as well, and some sweet peas. Down here, as you can see, that all my dahlias, or virtually all my dahlias, are potted on, and all my canna lilies, cannas should I say, are all there and starting to put on a little bit of growth. So we'll move on now to greenhouse number 2. So not a lot going on in greenhouse number 2. Got the dwarf beans. They're yet to show any signs of life. These are my beetroot that I potted on, and they're looking quite nice. The runner beans at the back there, not showing any sign of life yet. We've got some squash in under these propagator lids. I've got quite a number of squash going on. All my peppers have got the propagator lids on. They'll stay on just for the next hour or so till it warms up, and then I'll take them off. They'll be off all day, and then be back on before I go home. The beans there that I'm going to probably be putting out later on today. Potatoes, Charlotte, first earlies, not showing any signs yet, but as soon as they do, they pop their heads up, I will bob more compost over the top. So outside now, and the red sun shallots are looking brilliant. I think it's only a couple of weeks since I've planted them. The sprouts have shot right up, so they're really loving that bed there. Even the broad beans have put on a little bit of size in the last few weeks, so I'm really pleased with those. The garlic is really making a run for it now. Stems are really starting to thicken up, so I'm really pleased with the garlic. Let's nip down and see how those parsnips have done since we sowed them last week. And look at that. You can see there, you can see, and there's 3 in your shot there, one there, but they've really all started to take off. So they're enjoying it in there, so I'm expecting some great parsnips again this year. So I'm pleased with that. Brilliant. Let's have a quick look in the coal frame. There you go. We've got the cauliflowers, the red Ladero cabbage, and my Elsa Craig onions, all coming along nicely in there. As I say, they're not racing away there, they're just growing steady, so that in the next 4 or 5 weeks they'll be able to just get transferred into the growing positions without any bother whatsoever. Savoy cabbage there, doing really well, and some pak choi. And again, I always keep my seedlings because somebody always forgets to put something in, so that's brilliant. Now, I did promise to do a video. Some of my subscribers made some comments about how I was going to cut the window in, but it's one of those jobs that you've really got to concentrate on, because one false move and you could really create yourself a lot of work. So it's not something I did, but in another video I can always go back and just show you how I did manage to do it. But it looks good. It's a nice little bit of lighting, as you can see as well. I've re-roofed it and felted it, so it's all watertight now. The only thing I've got to do is fix the hole at the back and fit the gutter in. So I'm going to try and get on with that today if I get a chance. I've got my daughter and a couple of grandkids coming down to have a walk around the plot, so if I get a moment I'll crack on with that. So as you can see, things are really starting to busy up down here on the allotment, and this is the time when you've really got to keep your wits about you. Keep an eye on the weather, make sure that, you know, if you need to, you get those seedlings covered up, because I have seen it in the past where people have not got down. We've had a sharp frost and all that work's been undone and they've lost everything. So got to have your wits about you. It's now the time of the year where you've got to start maybe committing a little bit more time to the plot, because as you can see, you know, the soil's warming up, and when that happens, the weeds start to grow, and that's a constant battle. So, you know, it can very, very quickly, don't come down for a couple of weeks and you can come down to a jungle, and you know that'll create you 2 or 3 hours work just getting that all cleared up. I'm going away in May down to Cornwall, visiting the Lost Gardens of Heligan and the Eden project, and I make sure that, you know, a couple of my neighbours, they come down and they keep an eye on everything for me that's in the greenhouse and any watering that I need doing. So it's really, really good to have, you know, plot neighbours where you can all look out for each other. So as I say, I'm going to try and crack on and get the guttering on this shed done, and then eventually, hopefully maybe next week, I might start to have a little think about how I'm going to lay things out in here, where the potting bench is going to go, where my shelving's going to go, and we'll start cracking on with that. Anyway guys, thank you very much to all my subscribers and all the new ones, and thanks for all your positive comments. It really is appreciated, and it pushes me on to produce more videos. If there's any suggestions of anything that you'd like to see that I'm not showing, you know, please leave a comment, and I'll take that on board. But until the next time, which will be probably midweek this week, have a great Sunday, have a good week, and happy growing. Take care.